Welcome, one and all, to Mommy Manga. I am Petter, and this is James.
Hello.
And today we're talking about Volume 14 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Been a little while, not too terribly long, but it's been a little while.
Yep.
And but yeah, it's good to be back with Volume 14. And in this one, it starts with Übel and Land being captured by the Magic Special Forces. Then we are introduced to a group of shadow warriors who follow Governor General Löwe. And Übel and Land managed to escape from the prison that the Magic Special Forces put them in. We also then throughout a few chapters, I felt like we got to know these shadow warriors that were introduced in this volume. Then the shadow warriors attacked our protagonist group, leaving Stark badly poisoned from an arrow wound. Sein conveniently returned into the story and was able to save Stark from the poison by healing him. Fern was victorious in a magic quick draw amidst the fireworks, and the volume ends with Übel and Land delivering the letter with information from Lineal, and Syria arrives in Iceberg.
Yeah. Intense last few chapters.
Definitely.
It's basically a sign of what's about to happen. Get it? Sign? Huh? I did not mean to do that, but yeah.
Nice.
I feel like it is kind of a warm up to what potentially could go down. I'm not saying, everyone's going to come in guns a-blazing, but it's going to be a pretty intense arc, feels like.
Yeah, I get that feeling too. And like, yeah, this was kind of, it felt like this volume gave us a taste of what's to come. Like, because there was a lot
Yes,
of build up,
yes.
but then there was also like some very good action by the end, like at the end of the
Yeah.
volume. And I loved like seeing like how they were strategizing and trying to get the leg up on each other. That was very, very well done, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess without further ado, let's dive into the character discussions.
Okay.
And let's kick it off with Frieren. Why don't we? Apparently, she rages, or I guess gets really grumpy at least, for 10 minutes once every 10 years. I thought that was fun lore for her.
It's brutal. Like stay back. Don't talk to her unless you want an emotional barrage of attacks.
Exactly.
Don't don't come near. So I would assume Fern has only experienced this twice.
Like either like once or twice.
This being the second time.
Oh, right, yeah, precisely, yeah. I would say so too. In that case, yeah, precisely since they've been traveling and they've known each other for 11
Since she was
years, since she was
yeah.
9. I believe Fern was 9.
So it could be only this could be the first time she just had heard it from Hyter.
That's possible, I
Um,
suppose. But yeah.
anyway, it's not very common, but this is first time Stark seeing it, and then obviously everyone else is just like, "Whoa,
Yeah, stay away.
chill or stay away." Yeah.
Uh,
At least it was only 10 minutes, because although it would have been funny if it lasts like a whole day and we kind of got to see, I don't know, bad mouth Frieren the entire time.
yeah, that would be
Like, that would
funny.
have been an interesting side.
Right, because I was kind of thinking about how, because like it's only once every 10 years or so, and like I guess, and I
Yeah.
could kind of justify that, or like I kind of felt like that made sense with her being an elf who, everything takes much longer and whatnot, like for to have a cycle of some sorts that goes around for 10 years, like I feel like that makes sense for an elf. But for it then to only last 10 minutes, that's a very short amount of time. That
It's
felt
very short.
that felt very strange for being something that is for an elf. I don't know. It
maybe
was good
maybe
though.
that's the comedic factor of it, that it goes against your expectations. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Definitely.
I mean that's like a fleeting thought, that comes in and goes out almost in
Uh-huh.
comparison.
Yes.
But that was funny.
hmm there was a part when the Shadow Warriors were talking, and they referred to they were talking about the great mage Minus or Minus, and they referred to that mage as one of the three great mages.
Yeah.
Obviously, Syria is has got to be another one of them, like no doubt. And
Hmm.
is Frieren the third one, or
So I kind of looked it up,
okay?
and someone had already called her one of the great mages, apparently.
All right, cool, great. That settles that.
I think, yeah,
Nice.
because I was going the same route you were. It's like maybe this is a third mage that we don't know about, but it sounds like someone else, Genau, or it starts with a G E.
Yeah,
I
there
think
was a
correctly.
Genau earlier in the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, him. Like he mentioned something about the three mages, and he called
Gotcha,
her,
gotcha.
or he called her great mage or whatever.
That's nice. Cool. Then that settles that. I just needed a confirmation on that because it
Okay,
seemed
well here,
it.
okay, so here it is.
Hmm?
When Genau called Frieren last great mage, that's last great mage. So maybe that
Huh?
doesn't mean one of the three.
That's
Although,
interesting.
why would he say last great mage when he's working for Setier? Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's very strange. Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
But if she is considered a great mage, and I think now I think about it, I think great mage was one of the titles that Frieden had in the previous,
Hmm.
I guess, ranking of mages. You remember how
Yeah.
she had an old medallion or whatever?
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that's what they called them.
That's possible. Yeah.
So maybe there's that.
Hmm.
So either way, I'm led to believe that Frieren is one of the three great mages. Although
Yeah.
I'm totally open to the idea that there is just this third great mage out somewhere, because Frieren does kind of keep to herself and has always tried to stay out of the limelight per se. Whereas Setier and it seems like
Mm.
this other, I forget, started the M. I forget her name.
Minus
Um,
or minus.
Minas. You know, we're definitely letting their names be known. Maybe one more devious being known as the
Yeah.
witch. I'm sure we'll learn more about her in this arc.
I hope
But
so. Yeah.
yeah, they seem to be, saying or proclaiming their name loud and proud, whereas Freeman is only known as the mage who helped take out the Demon King. So
Right. Which is still a huge feat, to be fair.
yeah,
So like
no, sure. No one, no, those other two didn't do it.
yeah, right. And like so like for Frieren even I because I agree with you. She's definitely not the one to like boast and like be like that. But she still has obviously done some great things and she is, as we have seen throughout the series, incredibly powerful. So I think it makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense for her to be one of them.
yeah. My only hesitation about this, though, and I'm sorry, we're going along on a long time on this. I apologize.
It's all good.
My only hesitation about this is that when Frieden compares herself to Setier, she almost doesn't put them on the same level. I feel like, you know, and maybe it would work out if they were to, heaven forbid, get into a fight. You know, like they
Mm,
would have to fight each other. I don't know if Frieden, maybe Frieden would do better than she thinks she would,
right.
but I don't know. Maybe she doesn't see herself on that same level. Now, counter to that is, while she may not see her at the same level, everyone else maybe they do. Like to them, that their
Mm,
level is so high, so much greater than they. Then there's you know there's they're comparable.
right.
But and City is much older than Frieden as well, so it that there's that aspect of it. So I don't know. There's
Yeah.
things to think about, I guess.
Definitely. I wondered, and like, I was reading Jujutsu Kaisen just before this recording here, so I have Jujutsu Kaisen on my mind, and something that this got me thinking about a little bit is
Uh-huh.
if it could be something, because I'm not going to go too in depth on Jujutsu Kaisen here, but in Jujutsu
Right.
Kaisen, there's this ranking of different sorcerers, and the special grade is like the highest rank of sorcerers, and you have certain characters that are special grade And then you have another character who's also special grade, and his name is Gojo. But he's like leagues above every other person who's special grade, even though he's also special grade.
Yeah.
So it's like it
Yeah.
could be something like that here as well. Like Syria and Frieren have the same rank, but there's still a gap between them anyway.
I see. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to say about that, but it
Yes,
it definitely is an interesting idea to think about.
definitely. And I'll also mention real quick, since we were talking about the great mage Minus, that's German for minus. So just
What?
wanted to point that very obvious fact out, as I like to go over the the new German words for the volume.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. Even though a dumb Englishman like myself, well, Englishman, American like myself can probably put together. But you never know. Sometimes it could have meant meatloaf for all I know.
But yeah, that's what that means.
It's not a very positive connotation, man. I'm just really killing it with the puns today.
Yeah,
Um, so, and they also call her the witch. Which is
exactly.
this the first time? Well, did they call Aura a witch?
No, her title was always the guillotine. Or the guillotine.
Yeah, you're right. So, is this the
So
first time we've heard the term witch being thrown out there?
I think so. I did think about it as well, and I couldn't think of any other instance. So that's fun, I
Yeah.
think.
It is fun because it definitely implies whether you like that or not, a negative connotation that maybe witches in this world, if you're called a witch, then you're a bad person,
You're
a
a
bad
bad mage,
mage.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. Anyway, anything else on Freerun?
Yeah, she's kind of nervous about the idea, or at least unsettled about the idea of a person who thinks they can kill Cyrie,
Yeah.
something that should be considered impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's something to think about for sure. I don't necessarily think she is frightened by it, but definitely a little taken aback and almost just wondering how is it even possible for someone to think that, let alone do it. Um,
Yeah.
and we obviously we have an idea of who that is, and we'll talk about him later. But it'll be quite the feat. And I mean, spoilers. I don't think it's gonna happen. Spoilers for my prediction thoughts. I still don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a
Fair.
failure.
Yeah, I believe we both talked about
But
last time also that it seemed like
right,
it.
exactly.
We both kind of felt like it probably wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, but needless to say, Frieren is just trying to wrap her mind around it. And
Yeah.
maybe she's a little skeptical, but also cautious.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I just want to mention, like, she gets ready by herself, does everything up until breakfast. Record-breaking time
Yeah.
of
That
independence. It's crazy.
it's great progress.
What a world we're living in. And
Yeah.
Stark's comment is like, there's gonna be a great catastrophe tomorrow. I can feel it, or something like those lines.
Yeah, yeah. And he was right.
Oh yeah.
Because wasn't the day after when he got poisoned? Or
I can't
or
remember if it was the day after or the same day. I
I'm
think it
not
might have been
entirely
the same day. I
that's
can't remember.
that's
Either way.
possible. Yeah, I don't really know. Yes, yes. Well, then next I want to talk about Sein. He's finally back.
Finally.
And he didn't expect to see Frieren in the party ever again, apparently.
No. No. Yeah.
But yeah, like the nice or the kind of interesting thing about Sein's character is that he was introduced, I don't even remember when, but like multiple volumes back now, and we spent a bit of time with him, but not like too terribly much. But still, he felt like he became a member of the party, or at least to me,
Mm-hmm.
it felt that way back then. But then he left, and then because of that, it felt like he would for sure come back at some point and kind of permanently stay with the party. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, it's hard to know for sure. I hope he will stay with
Right.
the party from now on, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly depends on where Guerrilla Warrior is and how
Yeah.
that all comes down. But I don't think we're alone in connecting with Sign and wanting him to stay with the party because I
Mm.
hear comments from people just in the anime right now they're going through in season 2 um, Methode her section and everyone's just like Sein would have loved this. Where is Sein? This is
Oh
the woman
yeah.
of his dreams. Although I don't know if she's the man of her dreams. I don't know, but anyway, um, uh, and you just hear people saying, "I like this Sign. I wish he was back." But he was there for only such a short period of time compared to how long this story has been going so far, or at least how
Yeah.
many volumes we've had since.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's great to have him back. And I'm with you. I hope he's here to stay, or at the very least, be here for a prolonged time, even after this arc.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just have to see what his priorities become. Um, I
Yes.
mean, look, if he spent all this time in all these different parties, not a single woman among them. I mean, this is the best he can get, right? I mean,
Right.
he knows his bounds, but look, if you stay with this party, trust me, you will find women. You'll find
Oh
your perfect
yes.
Onesan. You will find her.
Exactly. Well, he saved the cat. That was like the first thing he did in this volume. So that's a
Ugh,
good deed.
automatically hero.
And
Yeah.
yes. And in doing so, he also it felt like he started to, in one way or another, to form a bond with Verlos, or this dwarven shadow warrior.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just felt like their brief bonding there, if that could end up being crucial in the future somehow, I think that could be interesting.
Definitely. I
Mm.
I think yeah, that will have further some sort of plot line. Um I think there's a reason that Sign has come back, and not just because okay, it's now let's bring Sign back now.
Yeah,
There's actually a plot going on with him, and I'll say that for predictions. But
sounds good.
I agree with you that I don't necessarily think it's going to be a close bond or anything like that. I just think there's going to be connection,
Hmm.
especially when Sign is seen with Frieren. Um,
Right.
that's going to be interesting to see how he reacts. I am curious. Sorry, since you mentioned him, the dwarf.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he would be able to recognize Frieren or know about Frieren,
Oh yeah.
because Frieren knew about him. Had they ever met before? I don't know.
At least Verlos had shaken hands with Himmel,
Oh yeah, yeah,
so they
that's
should have
right.
met.
So they
It
should have
felt
met.
like it
Hmm.
felt like that looked or based on the image of that, it looked like it was from Frieren's time with the heroes party.
Yeah. Well, that said, when they showed the bounties, he didn't like object to taking her out at all. So maybe that
Yeah,
won't mean
he's
anything.
one of the more interesting Shadow Warriors, I'd say.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
I'm
agree.
very intrigued to learn more about him.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. You brought it up
Mm.
and my thought
All good.
went to there, but yeah, no, Sign, I feel like it's interesting this volume we had a few references to the goddess's magic
Hmm.
and particularly the Shadow Warriors using that magic. But I feel like Sign, it's almost as if the goddess is guiding him. Like he's, divinely appointed to I don't know, to help people and
Oh.
be there at the right time. Like he even when he first started in the show, he always showed up at the right moment. Like if he hadn't been there for Stark here in this volume, Stark would probably have died from the poison.
Yeah.
And then if the cat probably would have died if he wasn't there, and they wouldn't have been able to find the the watchtower on the map or whatever. So anyway,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
that's just kind of the feeling I get. So I'm curious if down the line, if his special connection with the goddess's magic is going to play a role at all.
Yeah. I like
Um,
that.
anyway,
That's
yeah,
nice. Mm.
yeah.
Something that was surprising to me regarding Sign that we learned in this volume is that he doesn't know Guerrilla Warrior's real name.
Oh yeah,
even though they're like it's like his best friend supposedly.
Right. Yeah. I
uh,
mean, look, when you don't use someone's name and then you just kept using their nickname,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, makes sense.
he's just guerrilla warrior to him.
Yeah,
Well, anything else on Sign?
that's it.
All right, then next let's talk a bit about Captain Frese. Frese.
Oh, yes. Very excited.
Uh, the captain of the Magic Special Forces, who we don't see much of in this volume, but I feel like she's still a prominent character somehow in the volume as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so yeah, based on the little things that the glimpses that we see and the things that we hear of her, she seems really nasty. And also, I guess I just want to establish, make sure that I'm correct in this, being that she was the one who attacked Lan's home when he was a kid,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I feel like that's what was implied by his flashback. If
Yeah,
you just look at the person.
precisely. So that's like closer to present day, obviously, than the bigger
Yeah.
flashback of her that we saw with Gluck.
Right. But that was 50 years ago,
Uh huh. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So that's gotta have been her. Also,
mhm.
Noi, one of the officers or whatever on the Magic Special Forces, compared Übel to Frese,
Yes,
which
yes.
which I feel like
That's
also
scary.
is a bad sign. Exactly, because yeah,
They're
we
gonna
know how scary Übel can be at times.
Yeah,
So
her little boyfriend has kind of reined her in a little bit, it seems like, but
yeah,
yeah, Ubel's crazy. Like that
uh
girl
huh,
is
yes,
a maniac. So
yeah,
if the other side or this military has a person like Ubel leading it,
hmm,
that's very scary.
very scary. Oh my gosh, an organization with that much power led by someone like
Yeah,
Übel. Oof.
yeah.
Yeah, and like none of the people working for her seem to really get her or like her, because also Vig, who's one of the other ones that worked there, says that they
Hmm.
don't like Frese, and Canone says that she doesn't understand Frese.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
so excited to see more of Frese.
Well, I think the biggest kind of tell of how scary she can be is that Macht was was like we need to kill her now.
Right,
She will
right.
destroy the city of Weiss if we don't kill her. And
Yeah.
it's like, what? Wow, what a way to introduce a character.
True. So true. My goodness. In German, Fräse is a milling machine.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm,
I guess those can be pretty dangerous if you don't
yeah.
know how to use them right.
Yeah.
um,
Mm,
so that's what her name means. I'll also mention Weg, or yeah, WEG.
mm-hmm.
That person's name. That I believe it was a woman. Her name means gone or away.
Very interesting. We'll see how much we see of her.
Yeah.
I think Kanone is probably more of a character we're gonna learn more about. Maybe
Yeah.
not to the extent of like Deadken or something like that, but I
Hmm.
think we'll learn more about her.
I think so as well. I even kind of could see her turning into some kind of ally, even.
Yeah,
At least, honestly, like the Magic Special Forces as a
I get good
whole,
vibes from her.
from right, because what we've seen, Kanone, Vic, and Noi, they all have some kind of issue with Frase. Like, so like, if they would all kind of just like mutiny on Frase, like, I'd be down for that. um,
Uh-huh.
because if Frase is the one who makes the Magic Special Forces evil, then we just need to get rid of her. Then the rest of them can make it a good, make it into like a good organization.
Right.
But yeah, very excited to see more of Frase.
Yeah, definitely. Like this seems to be the to me this seems to be the antagonist or the main antagonizer of this arc. Yes, I mean there's oh gosh, how did you say his name?
Löwe,
He
or sorry.
Lova. He's the head of the and I don't know if we're going to talk about him or not.
We can move on to Löwe now if you'd like.
Oh sure, yeah, we could talk.
Yeah.
We could talk about him. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, if you had anything you wanted to say right there about him, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Lova. Is that right? Lova.
Yeah, Löwe, yeah.
Love. He's definitely because I would just say low.
Fair.
uh, Love is definitely the head of the Shadow Warriors. There's no question about that, and he was the one that killed Minus. Um,
Supposedly.
supposedly, yeah. I
Mm.
think you when you have that kind of vagueness, like it implies that maybe there's more to it, and maybe it didn't actually happen. Not actually, I don't think he's lying to everybody, but maybe there is more to it than just that. But anyway,
Mm. Mm.
I feel like he could be answering to Frase. I can't remember how to say her name again.
Fräse.
Frase. I think
Yeah.
maybe he's answering to her. Like she's the one that's kind of pulling the strings. Like she's kind of in a higher position, and she's the one
Oh.
that wants Serie dead, and that's why she's giving the commands, and then he's giving the commands to the other
That's
Shadow Warriors. So that kind of hierarchy.
that's fun. I had some ideas on that, but not exactly that. Um, I like that though. Actually, I want to return to this in predictions later on.
Okay, sorry.
Um,
Yes, keep
no,
going.
no, that's all good because you kind of helped me formulate something that I'll get to later.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. And yeah, you said he's the leader of the Shadow Warriors. I don't know if it's true that he's the leader of the Shadow Warriors as a whole, or if he's just the leader of this group of Shadow Warriors.
Okay, fair.
I don't know. Um,
I mean, he has
I
to have
guess.
some sort of position, right? Or is he just a aristocrat?
I mean, he is a governor general, so he's like, but that's like his title outside. Like that's his public title supposedly.
Hmm.
And then yeah, whether he's like the head of the Shadow Warriors as a whole, or just the leader of this specific Shadow Warrior group, I guess we can't really know.
Hmm. I don't know. I think this is a interesting revelation that he went after Minus and is supposedly very confident that they can take out Serie. Um,
Yeah,
I just, I guess I'm excited to see his story with Minus, and then maybe what his plans are.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. And to see if it wasn't him who killed Minus, then
Right.
who did, and how did Löwe come about the amulet or whatever, the thing that had belonged to
Yeah,
Minus?
because he had that.
Because I
Hmm.
feel like I kind of feel mostly right now, and I guess this is slightly predictions, but I kind of feel mostly that
Hmm.
it's going to turn out that he wasn't the one who killed Minos. Because I feel like that would, I don't know, I feel like there's a bit more drama there, but I don't know.
Yeah. Why be vague about it? You know.
Yeah, right. And that just the fact that someone managed to kill Minos is enough for him to feel like he could kill Syria, probably. But yeah. Löwe in German means lion, by the way.
Ah.
Like the animal lion.
Oh man. I mean, he's got to be the one to do it now with a name like that.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's a big name.
expectations.
Yes. And he's the governor general of the Lorbeer domain. The Lorbeer domain was also the area that Rutine was from, which was one of the other shadow warriors that we got in this volume. And Lorbeer or Lorbeer means laurel, like the plant, like the leaves.
Mm.
So maybe it's a green region. I don't know. But yeah, anything else on Löwe?
No, I don't think I have anything else on him.
Then let's talk a bit about the other Shadow Warriors that were introduced in this
Yeah,
volume.
let's do that.
There's multiple. We have Schritt, Wolf, Iris, Routine, Clematis, Lore, Gazelle, and Verlos. As well as apparently one more Shadow Warrior who's like a blacksmith with a great sword,
Mm-hmm.
who I'm assuming will be properly introduced soon.
Yep, yep.
But something that I thought like I kind of felt like this volume was mostly belonged to the Shadow Warriors. It was like there was a lot they got a lot of panel time. And
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I appreciated really getting to kind of know the antagonists in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And also kind of seeing how multiple of them kind of think they may die on this mission, and especially Gazelle is like really pessimistic about it all. So I just thought that was fun, neat.
I'm curious who's going to be the one to kill them. Frieren doesn't seem like one to do that.
I wonder if any of them will really end up dying, because I feel like
Yeah.
Lore was hit by Fern's blast by the end of the volume, and
Mm-hmm.
if they wanted to like have these guys get like die like one after the
Yeah,
other,
that would have been
they
the
would
time.
have made her die then, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
maybe they'll just I don't know redeem them or just in some other way just let them pass or like
Mm-hmm.
not pass away,
Mm-hmm.
just pass.
When it comes to some of the other first class mages, I mean, I'm not so confident that they wouldn't kill.
mm, yeah.
Although there was something conflicting I felt like in this volume with one of the characters said. We'll we'll get to that. We talk about them, but
All right.
I don't know. Particularly Seti, I could see if she wanted to, she wouldn't bat an eye. Really, I don't think she has the same kind of standards and morality that maybe Frieden does. But
Right. Yeah.
just my opinion, my read on the vibes.
I know, but I agree. The only thing I have left on the Shadow Warriors in general are what all their names mean. But if you have anything you want to talk about them before, then we could. I'll save
No,
that for.
not until predictions.
All right, then let's go through the names real quick. We have
Okay.
Schritt, the drunk mercenary. Her name means like stride or walk.
Huh.
Um, then we have
Okay.
Wolf, the barkeep. That just means wolf, as it is spelled, same way in German as in English. Also, same thing with Iris or Iris, I guess. The barmaid, her name means Iris. It's also just a normal name.
Yeah.
uh, we also have the librarian Routine. Actually, also same thing, means routine.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. It's just different pronunciation. Um,
Hmm.
there is also Clematis. I'm not entirely sure if that's the right pronunciation, but that's the priest, and that's just like from what I could find out, that's just a genus of a flower species.
Yeah.
It's like Latin, I guess.
I thought it sounded like a flower. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily German. And then there's Lore, the nun, which means like wagon or cart or something like that.
Huh.
Obviously, in English, it sounds like lore, which is a totally different thing and kind of more fitting,
Yeah.
I kind of feel, for a nun, but yeah.
Is
um,
she really a nun?
yeah.
I guess she could be though.
Well, she uses the goddess's magic.
Yeah. Yeah, but is it like
So,
nefariously so, or I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good question. Then there's Gazelle, the street vendor. That's just Gazelle.
Oh, really? Huh.
And lastly, Wehrlos, the vagabond, means helpless or defenseless, which I guess is the front that he's trying to put up. like playing
Yeah,
this
definitely.
vagabond when in reality he's an ex-hero, or he used to be a
Freaking
hero.
ripped.
Yeah, called rasen, and that means to race, like the verb race.
Oh, whoa.
So I
Hmm.
guess he's fast.
Yeah, right. Maybe I guess he is. Do you see where he pointed at where the T was? Like his arm was just like rippling strong.
Oh, I don't think I really paid attention to that, but that's fun.
I didn't notice until my second read through. I was like, wait a minute. It was
Nice.
just like a literal flex.
Well, then next, let's talk a bit about Fern.
Yeah,
Her entire action part at the end of this volume was awesome.
yeah, it
Like
was
first the like using the fireworks as a cover, and then obviously the magic quick draw against Lore. I loved it so much. That was epic.
yeah, it was awesome and love to see it. And I like how up until then she was kind of at her wits end, or like she was about to lose control. Just like I'm just start blasting, and figured they had to
Yeah.
calm her down. And so in a way, this is a time for her to learn, and it's a teaching moment. Frieren trying to teach her to be calm, like think through the situation. I'm not gonna let you do this. It feels very mentor and apprentice
Hmm.
like, which sometimes we don't get that too often, um, since we're so much further into the story. But this time,
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely felt like that, and in the end, like she definitely improved. I feel like, although Fear did comment, like I'm not gonna be able to hold Fern back. We got her wound up now. you went after
Yeah.
you went after Stark and almost killed him. Like it's done. Like
Oh yeah.
we can't. I can't hold her back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I also love to see that it was Stark being in so much danger that made Fern so kind of well inclined to be reckless. Like
Yeah,
I think it definitely shows how much she cares about him, and it fuels the ship a bit, I'd say.
for sure. More fuel for the ship is I love how when she notices that Stark was cold, she like opens up the blanket to let him in. He's like, nah, it's not gonna fit. But as soon as
Right.
Freeman gets up to think, she automatic. I assume she's the one that puts him under the blanket. I don't know. Somehow they get under the blanket together.
Yeah.
Uh, so there was no hesitation.
Very cute. But that's all in Fern, or
Yeah, I think so.
then let's move on to Stark a bit. So he took that poisonous arrow to save Frieren. Very
Whew.
quick thinking, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
obviously very lucky that he did, because anyone else would have died quickly from that. Um, and like pretty much just Stark and yeah, a couple other warriors like him would be able to hang in as long as he did there until Sein came along.
Yeah.
But yeah, uh, anything more on Stark there?
No, I don't have anything else.
Then let's talk a bit about Übel next. She seems to not care too terribly much about whether she lives or dies, which
Yeah.
I thought was kind of nice in a way. I mean, I don't wish death on her or anything. I hope she lives till the end of the story, but it was nice in the way that because we've seen how easily she can take the lives of others previously in the story, and so I just kind of feel like it matches, or kind of she's not biased toward her own life in that way. She I guess her view on life in general might just be she might just see life as less valuable in general compared to other people, her own life included.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's her mentality.
Hmm. So I think that was a nice insight kind of into her.
Mm-hmm. Throughout her fight with Noi, she seemed to comment on Land a lot. I mean, she's I mean, she's kind of obsessed, but it seems she understands him a lot. Or she keeps saying like things like, "Oh, he'd totally do that," or this or that.
Uh-huh.
And so I just wonder like how she hasn't learned how to copy that spell. You know, I guess I don't
Yeah.
fully understand how it works. Because she was able
Mm,
to copy what's his name, the guy who does the binding spell. She was able to
right.
do that relatively quickly, and yet
That's a good. Yeah.
she can't figure this one out. So
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know what the whole story going on there, but
Interesting. I just got a spontaneous thought as you were bringing that up.
uh-huh.
That what if she has figured it out? What if she can do it, but she pretends not to in order to be able to spend more time with him?
That would that'd be pretty great. Um, or more nefariously, she's doing it so or pretends like she hasn't figured it out so that no one knows, and then she can whip it out in
Mm,
case or like an ace up her sleeve.
right. That
Um,
too. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean that could be pretty useful to have.
Definitely.
Or she's just in denial, and she's just gonna end up married with kids at some point. It's like, wait a
Exactly.
minute.
Yeah. Or actually, I guess it's also possible that it's just a much more difficult technique to learn. Or like it
That could be.
requires her to understand her subjects a lot more than for other techniques. I guess that's
Yeah,
possible too.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty valuable magic. At least it
Mm,
appears to be that way.
yeah.
Some other things, her smug face when she cuts the tower. I thought that was pretty iconic.
Yes.
And then they had their turn in trying the cat ears on that
Yeah.
Frieren's party did.
Exactly.
Everyone gets their chance. Everyone gets to try the cat ears, okay?
Yes. Very cute.
But that's all I have on Bell.
All right, then slightly on land, um, he knows how dangerous the magic special forces are because, well, they attacked him at his home before.
Yeah,
And I don't remember now. Like it seemed, well, was it his mother or his grandmother who raised him?
I think it was his grandma. I think
Yeah, that sounds
that
familiar
was
more
it.
so, I think. Yeah. So I assume potentially he lost her to the magic special forces.
I mean, it's a possibility because she did pass away, and he was just
Mm-hmm.
staying there to protect her grave or honor her or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense,
Yeah.
but makes
So
me wonder, you know, was the grandmother some powerful mage or a threat to the empire?
right.
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, the Empire, they're after like Frieren and Stark, and like they're after people who
Uh
don't
huh.
deserve to be yeah, to have them after them. So
Wait, are they after Stark?
didn't the Shadow Warriors, when they got the list in this volume, at some point, they were
Uh
talking
huh.
about the names on the lists, and they were talking about Frieren, and they also mentioned Stark, didn't they?
Oh,
Which
did
kind of
they
makes me
really?
feel like Fern should be probably on the list as well. We just didn't see the whole list.
Yeah, first should definitely be on the list.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I know they. Oof, where was it? Was it when they were talking in like the forest or
Yeah,
that
I'm
area?
looking to see. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Stark's on there. I assume Fern's on there as well. I think he just says Frieden and Stark
Yeah,
because because he saw their pictures or whatever.
yeah, and like those were the two that he interacted with at the market.
Yeah, okay. So it just must be because they're traveling with her, and so that's why.
Yeah,
Although it would be very interesting if somehow Stark, or for some reason Stark was an enemy of the Empire because of his upbringing or something like that.
right. Like his family or something.
Uh huh.
Mm,
That would be a very
yeah,
interesting twist, but I don't think that's the case.
yeah. No. Did you have anything more on land?
No, just wonder why they didn't like Granny.
Yeah, definitely hope we'll learn more about that.
Hmm.
Denken also made an appearance in this volume.
He did.
And the most interesting bit that I thought we got with him was when Sensei informed him of the plot to assassinate Syria.
Yeah.
They were kind of at the cafe or something like that.
Hmm.
And that scene, there was more to it than we got to see there. Um, so I wonder if he was invited to, and he accepted somehow to come and actually help them protect Syria, and if we'll see him working along with the protagonists in the next and coming volumes,
I guess you're right.
or what's up there? Because why else would Sensei tell Denkin about that whole thing?
Oh, she just wanted desserts. She knew that Dinkin would offer desserts. Like that was just her game plan all along.
Yes.
No, I think you may be right that maybe we'll get some sort of flashback to this conversation again, maybe. And while she's like chowing down on whatever parfait or whatever she's eating,
Hmm.
they're talking about either plans or I don't know, some sort of intel. That's fair. I actually didn't think about that. I just thought that he he had her order a bunch of desserts, and I guess he just let her go, like kind of like with Laufin.
Right, yeah.
He just has to dote on somebody, I guess.
Exactly.
But that's interesting. Because it would be kind of a shame not to, or to have Denkin just leave.
Yeah.
I am curious. I don't think he'd be the one to fight, though. I think he'd be more so kind of a liaison or a political um,
Mm.
someone who tries to, you know, be the in between man and help the sides see each other.
Right. I like that.
I don't know. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll have a role to play.
Yeah.
Then I'd like to talk briefly about Sensei also. We learned that she has a feud with Lineal,
Yeah.
and
Apparently.
that's just kind of an ongoing thing. We haven't met Lineal
No,
ever, so that's fun.
we have not.
Um,
I thought for a hot second that maybe Iris was her, and that's what her secret position was for some reason. Even though I know she was supposed to be
oh,
like a maid of some sort, but I thought for a brief second that could have been her because Iris goes down into the, I guess the, I wouldn't call it catacombs, but the underground passageway, and
mm-hmm.
she notices the glasses man. I forget his name. Or doesn't notice him, but looks back and thinking that there's someone
Yeah.
there, and then moves on. And I thought, oh, maybe that they were supposed to meet there or something. But then you look, you usually read into it, and you look at the one little panel we have of her,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks nothing like her. So it that's I just wanted to put it out there, but it's totally not the case whatsoever.
Right. No, that is interesting though, because I did also think about maybe what the significance of that was. Falsh is the name of that like guy with the glasses who was kind
Oh,
of spying
false.
on
Yes,
on
yes,
Iris
yes.
and Routine.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and yeah, because that was just a very brief part of in this volume, obviously, and I personally don't really know what it could mean. I mean, I guess one thing is that
Other than him just spying, I
Falsh was
guess.
spying on them. Yeah. he,
Yeah, that's about it.
yeah.
Anywho, this is all supposed to be about Sensei, or whatever, however
Yes.
you say her name. So yeah, so the feud between them is interesting. I kind of am excited to see what happens when they meet again,
Yeah.
or we see Linnell for the first time. But my beef with Sense is she says she's never killed a person. Like, really? I don't believe you. Because
Why?
I I feel I feel like this is the most brutal examiner in the mage exams, right? Like she's the one that comes up with the most difficult but also deadliest. It seems. And yeah, like there's a way to escape. Like they have that the thing in the bottle,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like it feels like she's kind of ruthless
Mm-hmm.
in her own way. And then clearly she's used her hair to rough people up and to cut people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Never killed a person. I mean, maybe she has the Batman mentality where she beats them to a bloody pulp, but they're still alive, so it's safe. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be that.
I don't know. She's probably telling the truth, but I also feel like she'd be one of the first class mages who'd be willing to do it in order to protect City A.
Yeah, no. I think you're right. But also speaking of Lineal, in the previous volume that was not her name. In the previous volume she was called Linear with an R instead of an L at the end.
Oh, that's right.
Which, I mean, I guess not too strange with Japanese being translated into a Germanic language.
Right. It's hard to tell when it's an L or an R sometimes.
Yeah, and with because last time I said with linear being her name, linear being her name, then is a German word that means the same thing that it spells in English, linear.
Uh-huh.
But now they've changed it to lineal or lineal, which means ruler, like and
Whoa.
like the measuring tool, ruler,
Oh.
not a.
I was like, whoa.
I,
What are the
yeah,
implications there?
yeah, no, but
A
like the
ruler.
measuring thing,
Hmm.
yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, yeah, it is interesting. It's like it is lineal supposed to be the more canon thing, or are they confused? Like,
I feel like you don't make that change
right,
unless you were told to. So I
true,
feel like
true.
that's the truth there.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, that's all the characters that I was gonna bring up. Do you have any more you want to discuss?
Yeah, there's just one more, and we kind of briefly talked about him already, but Noi,
Hmm.
we saw him use his magic to fight Ubel and land. He was able to still use his magic despite the spell of binding. How does that work? That was kind of shocking.
Yeah, right. My assumption there was that he was somehow able to use certain magic without needing to move.
Yeah, maybe I mean I guess so. Maybe it's like a mind type of thing, but even Ubel was just trying to figure out how exactly it worked. Um,
Yeah, true.
I think there's a scene where after he captures them and puts them in the iron cage or the steel cage, whatever it is, he has a bottle that either he's taking out or
Right.
he's putting back, and
Yes.
I just wondered if that was the source of the magic there, whatever it is, and that's how it's kind of interacting independent of him. Like it still knows what to do, like it's working in tandem with him, but it's not exactly coming from him. Maybe.
Yeah. Right. I like that because yeah, I did notice the bottle too, but then I kind of quickly forgot about it. But at least that's yeah, because there's got to be some kind of use for it. So yeah, it could be that
Right. So I'm very intrigued to see what that all means. That's it.
for all the characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then let's talk predictions, and I'd like to start with the thing that I was going to bring up, and that you also kind of helped me with a little piece of it earlier. So when I started reading this volume, I wondered initially if perhaps the Magic Special Forces are supporting the Shadow Warriors. Like I felt like that could explain why the Magic Special Forces are in the capital, and well, because the characters were talking about that, like why are they here? Like to them
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of strange, and I feel like that could explain that. But then near the end of the volume, I kind of felt like that didn't make as much sense anymore because Ubelin, well, I don't know. For one, we didn't get any of those, or I didn't get any of those vibes from Kanone or Veg or Noi. Um, and also by the end, Ubud and Land returned to the group with this letter still on their persons. Like the Magic Special Forces never took that letter from them, even though they imprisoned them, which I guess is kind of strange just in general.
I don't read too much into that though. I just
Maybe I shouldn't. Anyway, I was kind of landing initially in that probably no, but it's interesting, but probably they aren't working together. But then you brought up the idea that maybe Frese supports the Shadow Warriors, and I like that because then I think one possibility could be that Frese supports the Shadow Warriors unbeknownst to her subordinates. So Kanone and Noi and Vig don't know that their boss supports the Shadow Warriors.
I could definitely see that.
I think that I think that would be really interesting, and I think that's where I'm at right now in my thinking that what's going to happen.
I mean, the Shadow Warriors are more or less supposed to be a secret, right? They're supposed to be kind of unknown soldiers within the government. Like I think like Kanode and them would be aware that they probably exist somewhere, but would have no idea what they're what they're actually doing. You know what their missions would be. But I think Rase, forgive me if I butchered these names. I think she would be in a position to be able to control them in some manner,
Right.
or at least influence somebody who controls them. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but I feel like if she has these big, uh, almost devious plans, you have to have the Shadow Warriors under your belt in your pocket.
Yeah. And what I think would be especially interesting would be if because obviously like the volume kind of leaves us with a cliffhanger. What's the note going to say? What's the letter going to say exactly? And the obvious thing is that Löwe is, and like Löwe and I guess the group that he commands, or maybe just Löwe, I guess we don't know, would be on there. But wouldn't it be interesting if Löwe answers to Frese?
I think it's going to be about Frase. I
Yeah.
think that's what the spy is going to tell them is that this woman's crazy.
Yes. Because I feel like, or at least to me, that wasn't like apparent right off the bat. Uh, but obviously, having talked now,
Yeah.
I definitely think that's a really strong possibility and an exciting one too, because it would be boring if it was just Löwe and no one above him. I feel like
Right.
maybe because that's also kind of what I was kind of the feeling I got when I felt like he isn't necessarily the top head of the Shadow Warriors as a whole. Like he may
Uh-huh.
just be the leader of this group of Shadow Warriors, and then he would definitely need to answer to someone, and that someone could be Frese.
Right. Right.
So that's fun.
And Live could still be technically in the report, I suppose. I there could be
Yeah.
multiple aspects in it. I think he being a an enemy to watch out for, rumored to have
Hmm.
killed Minus, things of that nature.
Right. Right. Fun.
Yeah, I agree. Very very exciting.
I think it would also be fun to see the Shadow Warriors and the Magic Special Forces fight each other.
That could be yes. I would love to root for Kanone. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Kanone and her two guys or
Mhm.
people.
Along those lines, I think that within this upcoming arc, if not the next volume, we'll get kind of Trace's story and reasoning for wanting to lead the attack on Sede. I think there has to be kind of a reason why she's always been this maniacal, or not maniacal. Maniacal is not the right word because I don't know her, but
Yeah.
ambitious and what her goals truly are. It could just be to furthering the power of the empire, I guess. But you know,
Hmm.
I just think back to that flashback with Mock just being very worried about her. I'm curious what what she really can do and what's her story. So I mean,
Definitely.
maybe that's a little obvious, but I,
Yeah, no, but
we haven't
but
seen her yet, so I feel like next volume would be a great time to
mm,
see her, get introduced to her, and learn about her.
for sure, I think so too. It's just like I feel like this volume did such a good job at like kind of building up toward the reveal of her and like
Yeah,
setting a certain expectation of who she will be. And
yeah,
I think this volume did such a good job at like making her seem so just scary and nasty and like
yeah.
stuff like that. I just hope that the eventual reveal lives up to those expectations.
Well, knowing this story, I don't think there's going to be a lesser demon that kind of just totally barbaric person.
Mm.
Um, I have a feeling it might be almost like a misunderstanding. Um,
Ah.
not so much that she doesn't have intentions of killing Sadie, but maybe her intentions are a little different than, or maybe her ways are not as confusing as maybe Kanone is led to believe. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I also find it hard to believe that someone like Ubel could be in power like that. I almost feel like that's impossible. You would have to be too much of a anarchist or uh, a loner to do that. If you're Ubel, anyway, I guess it doesn't mean. I guess
Hmm.
being similar to Ubel doesn't mean you're exactly like her. So I could be wrong.
Fair. Yeah. You're right.
Anyway, I think you know this is another important reason why Sign came back into the story is because we're gonna get this older lady, and she's just gonna be his love interest,
Oh no.
and that's how they're gonna stop her plans of assassinating.
Uh,
No, I'm kidding.
you,
I mean,
you
hey,
better
I mean,
be.
I mean, maybe it could have. I don't know. I don't know. Older women. I don't know what his limit is. Yeah. No.
True, true.
I do have a sign prediction though.
All right.
It's more so about the Guerrilla Warrior. I think Guerrilla Warrior has to be the blacksmith. I think that's the tying factor to it all.
Oh,
And that's why you don't see the
yeah.
blacksmith's face, is because, I mean, I don't know if we would recognize him when we saw him, but the reveal would be, Guerrilla Warrior, is that you?
That's
Kind
good.
of kind of a moment.
Ooh, that's really good.
There are some flaws to this because shit she claims that she is the blacksmith's sister.
Well, she's like a nut, or
No,
or wait.
she's the drunken
Your
warrior.
brother. So the nun says your brother is absent. And I feel like since it's a nun who says that, I feel like it might not necessarily mean literal brother.
Oh, hmm.
I mean, it could be. You could be right on that, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, well, so here's my thinking of what it could mean.
Yes, yes.
Either there was, he indeed had a sister, that Sign, I guess, knew about, or maybe he didn't know about, but they were in that same village and
Hmm.
somehow met up again.
Yeah.
Or when Guerrilla Warrior parted ways, he either was taken in by family or something along those lines, and this is kind of a figurative sister brother type of thing.
Right.
And then my other thought was maybe they both come from the same line of martial arts or well, swordsmanship, I guess in this case. Not sure,
Yeah.
maybe it's a training thing where they went into the Shadow Warrior training program at the same
Oh
time.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of a caveat to this because it doesn't really make sense if Gurley had a sister. So I don't know, but
I feel like it could still work.
yes, I think it could still, yes. And so
Hmm.
I'm kind of doubling down on that. This blacksmith guy must be Guerrilla Warrior because Sein has a feeling that he's here,
Exactly.
and I just I feel like
Yeah.
his return to the story would not be for naught.
Yeah, and like with like manga and anime, a lot of the time, obviously not all the time, but a lot of the time in manga and anime, when you see a character at different ages, they often have like the same hairstyle.
Yeah,
And this guy has like the same hairstyle as the
yeah,
kid gorilla warrior in the photo we've seen.
that's what
So
I'm saying.
I like that very much.
And look, maybe Sein did meet the sister, but it's been years. Like, how would he remember?
Yeah, he doesn't even know gorilla warrior's name. So
Yeah, exactly.
no, I like that. And like regardless of whether it's a literal brother or a brother in some other sense, like they could make that work. And I
Yeah,
think you're completely right. I'm completely with you on that.
let's
I'm
go.
backing
Yeah.
your prediction totally. um, very nice. Well, my last sort of prediction is that I've kind of changed my mind a little bit on what I said last time regarding Syria
Oh,
and her fate. In
uh-oh.
this volume, Frieren said, "There's no way Syria will die."
Mm-hmm.
I could see that as a death flag.
That's kind of a death flag. You're right. You're right.
And it like I'm not convinced, but I'm more inclined than I was before to think that Syria might actually die here.
That's totally fair. I think they're playing with that mechanic where writers tend to put up a death flag, and then that you know oh, that can never happen, and then it happens. I think they're kind
Hmm.
of playing with that where it'll
Ah,
get close, like it's gonna feel like, oh, maybe this could actually happen, but then it doesn't. Like
okay.
she blows our mind somehow or something. That's my thinking, but I would be opposed to it actually happening. My, I guess, apprehension of going that way is it would create such chaos within their world that it feels it would almost distract from the main overall journey of them getting to end. I know this is all just a side quest in a way right now, but I feel like that would be such a big upheaval of everything. I don't know. Would they want to devote all that time into the aftermath of that? I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe that's me thinking too practically. I don't know.
The various side quests that they do on their way to end it, they do lead into each other and affect one another from time to time,
Yeah, they do for sure.
and I, yeah. I mean, I'm certainly not like Syria definitely is gonna die. Like, this definitely not. But
No, I get it.
if she would, it would be very interesting, I think, for the story because it would
It
change
it
up
definitely
like the
would be.
power balances and whatnot in the world would change. And
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it would create a bit of chaos within the power balance. Absolutely.
mm-hmm,
And I'm not
mm-hmm.
sure how the story would adjust, but it would be interesting to see how they were to do it. Um,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
yeah. We'll just have to read on and see
Yeah,
whenever the volumes arrive.
it's gonna be a while. Gonna be a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, it might. Yeah, but do you have more predictions?
That's it. I've already sprinkled my predictions throughout, to be honest.
All right, lovely. Then let's share our star of this volume, and I'll go first this time.
Okay.
I went with Sign. Maybe not too surprising. His return was very welcome, and I had been wanting it for a while. And just the stuff just the practical things that he did. He saved Stark's life,
Yeah.
and a cat's life. That's huge.
Well, put Sign times two because he's also my MVP for the exact
Lovely.
same reasons. It's great to have him back.
Yeah.
We've been wanting him for so long, and I know that doesn't automatically constitute as the great, or the best character in the volume, but when he came in, he was just clutch every time, and and I'm just excited to
Hmm.
see what his addition will bring to the overall story, even if it could be minor. But again, I'm kind of really hoping on the Grill Warrior thing becoming true. But uh,
Yes.
re-
Yes.
regardless, Sino is my MVP, and I will say that there was so much going on in this volume. There's like a lot of different characters, so it was somewhat hard to pinpoint exactly who was my favorite from it. But
Yeah.
I will say I think Sign it absolutely deserves it, and it was just great to have him back.
Hmm. And he's so funny too.
He really is. It's a different kind of
uh,
humor when he comes in.
definitely. Yes, and dear listeners, please let us know your star of this volume as well. Always fun to see. And well, any other thoughts you want to share before we leave Frieren for another several months?
I just hope that the creators are doing well. I
Yeah.
hope that their health takes a turn for the better, whatever reasons it may be. They're really good at world building. I mean, we probably
Hmm.
already talked about this before, but this volume particularly established how there's just so many different factions now in this. You would almost call it a simple story up until a certain point, and now we've just like really blown up the empire and gotten into details about military and things of that nature. And there's still so much we don't really understand or know, but every volume there's like a new legend or a new segment
Yeah.
that we learn about. It's like, oh wow, okay, wrap my
Yeah.
mind around that. But it doesn't feel overwhelming either. So they're really good at what they do.
I agree.
I just I just hope that they come back and don't leave the story by the wayside.
For sure. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Also, the way that they depict magic, I think, is one of the best magic depictions that I've seen in almost anything. Like it's
Yeah,
way up there and very, very cool.
it's really good.
All right then. That's all for this time. If you enjoy our podcast, please share it with your friends. You'll find links to our social media in the description, and you can support us by rating our show on the podcast platforms and subscribing to our channel Umami Manga on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time when we'll talk about Volume 15. Bye bye.
See you later.
Holy shit.
Language petter. Jeez.